Hey guys, it's Joshy here, and I'm back with my another Sun and Moon challenge video, And here's the challenge up on the screen now. I had to continue through and put every Pokemon on the team to sleep or poison them. Now, they could faint. I did have a few conversation. They could faint and everything, that was fine. But I just had to achieve getting all of them, you know, at some stage to sleep or poison. So that was fine. Now, funny enough, the person online I versed is named Poison, which was funny enough. But it was, you know, a fun battle. So I let off with my Shiny Palace Sand Sooty. Now, the reason I have this, guys, is a Sand Veil. So I've got Sand Veil, obviously Sandstorm, with a Bright Powder. So that way his evasion goes up by both the item and the Sandstorm. So it gives a higher chance for them to miss. So anyway, the Shiny Lunatone, because of course I got a Shiny, is obviously going to benefit from the Sandstorm with special defense, but I'm actually not attacking at this stage. And I thought I could have poisoned off the bat, but I didn't realize he'd have Ice Beam. But also I thought maybe he'll miss the second move or get a low roll. But unfortunately I'm going down, so that was a waste of a Sandstorm. I really should have got a Toxic up, but you know, what happens happens. So anyway, I thought I'd send him my Dragalge next, and I thought, well, this guy's actually a it's the one from my Facade team, but I thought, you know, I'm going to go for the Z Toxic Sparks to raise my defense, even though this is a special attacker. But I really probably should have gone for the Camouflage, so that way the next hit's not going to do too much damage, because it's no longer super effective no matter what he pulls out, because he obviously does have Ice Beam and possibly have, you know, Psychic or anything. So I'm going to get hit with a Sandstorm because that was a genius idea of mine at the start. And he's then going to go for the Psychic. So I'm like, okay, well, please live, please live. And I live it on 2 HP. So I get the Dragon Tail off, which was really good, because I'm able to force this Lunatone out. And I was hoping not for the certain Pokemon. I didn't get it. So in comes Incineroar. And lucky for me, I have the Toxic Sparks up now. So that is 1 poison. So that was really good. It was looking okay from now. I know, as I said, like, we'll see what happens, but I'm going down to the Sandstorm there, but I did get the Toxic Sparks up, so depending who comes out when, because obviously they do get there, if I'm worried there's a toxic poison Pokemon on the team, but I was hoping it wasn't going to come out or appear at any stage. So then I bring in my Lairon here, and I thought, so I hope he doesn't have the Cross Chop, and he pulls out the Darkest Lariat, so I'm assuming he doesn't, or he doesn't want to risk missing, but it really wouldn't have mattered. I am Eviolite max defense, so it does minimal, and I get the Mud Slap off. You know, I thought, you know, drop the accuracy a little bit first, get something going there. So the Sandstorm subsides, and I'm like, okay, well, this isn't going too bad. He's going to slowly lose his HP here. I was tossing out what to do, and then he goes for the Thrash, and I was like, okay, well, that's going to do absolutely nothing. You would best stuck with the Darkest Lariat. I don't know if it's a misclick or just silly plays or whatnot, but this shiny Incineroar is obviously not doing too much. So he's going for the Thrash again because he's locked in. And, you know, Mud Slap was my best bet. Keep working down the accuracy, a little bit of HP off, and, you know, it's super effective, so it's going to do a little more than it would to others, but it still does absolutely jack shit. So I'm, you know, I'm not going to bother swapping out. I don't want anything else to get hit by this if it does get hit. So I'm just going to keep going for it. And he's confused again, and then gets through and goes for the Flamethrower. I'm like, damn it, that obviously would have been a better bet earlier. I'm not specially defensive. It does a nice chunk of damage, and for some reason, I expected the swap at this stage. I thought once the accuracy had been lowered a bit and everything, I thought he's probably going to swap out here. So I thought, oh well, this time I'll stay in, I'll get my rest off, and he gets through the confusion again, and, you know, Lairon's going down there to the Flamethrower. So unfortunately, I lost the Lairon as well with the Toxic, and I'm like, oh, bugger. And I'm like, please, but he does stay in. So I've lost 3, so I really need to start this working because I only poisoned 1 on his team. So I thought, oh well, I'll bring in Moonrainer. Hopefully he'll miss here with whatever, or hit himself in confusion. And he gets through, gets Flamethrower, but does miss me. And so I went for the Work Up. I know I'm not planning on attacking until they're poisoned, and then I might be able to take them out. But I just thought if I do Confusion and then Toxic them, or even just Toxic and then attack, I have a little bit of a boost so I can hit a bit harder. So anyway, the Incineroar is going down there, and then she's going to bring in a Luna, which was the one I didn't want to see because it's the Venomoth. So the Toxic Spikes, unfortunately, going to go missing, and I cannot poison this thing. Now, obviously, if I was trying to do this challenge a lot easier, I could easily breed a Slazzle and then just try and use him that way, but I wanted to try and do it with some of the Pokemon I already had. So anyway, I thought, I'm going to go for the confusion right here, get this thing confused so there's less of a chance of him actually getting an attack off and possibly more damage on himself. So, you know, I'm getting a little bit back from lefties, and I was like, armor, and I thought, no, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to swap here. So I'm going to swap into my sweetness, which is my shiny Butterfree. And I was like, okay, please hit yourself in confusion, because then I can at least keep my focus sash. And then he does, and I'm like, good, okay, so my focus sash isn't going to get broken at this stage, or at least, you know, if he hits me once, I'm not going to lose the ability to use it, if it doesn't take me down low. And so then I went for the sleep powder, got the hit. I mean, I'm compoundized. And so I'm like, yay, okay, that's 2. So, you know, I can rely on the sleep status. I know that it affects most Pokemon. And then he withdraws, and I was like, okay, what do we got coming in here? And then he brings in the Zekrom, and I mean, shiny Zekrom. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not too afraid of this thing. I'm getting a Quiver Dance up here, so I'm going to outspeed it. I know that. Unless it's Scarfed or something, which I'm highly doubting it at this stage. And so this time I thought, oh, well, I'll go for the sleep powder myself. I'll get it up, and, you know, that's another one asleep. So I'm like, yay, okay, this is starting to turn around. I've got 3. Now, I'm not in this to win this, I'm in this to achieve my challenge. So Zekrom's asleep at the moment, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get another Quiver Dance up. I thought, why not, you know, be a little hoggy. At least I can take a few more special hits, and most of his team left is special. And then Zekrom wakes up straight away, but I did get him to sleep. And he's going for the Volt Switch there, which, even though it's a Zekrom, it's only going to do under half thanks to the 2 dances. So he actually swaps out and then brings in Ho-Oh, which, I mean, shiny Ho-Oh. And I'm like, okay, well, it's got pressure, so at least it could be a legitimate shiny. Doubt it, but could be. And so I went, okay, I'm going to sleep powder. So that is another one. So I've got only 2 left to go. And I thought, okay, this is going all right. I'm not unhappy with this. We're doing okay. So I thought, oh, well, I've got some up, so let's get my HP back. I'll go for the Dream Eater, see how much I do. And I do, you know, a third around that. And it does obviously have a bit of HP because I'm able to get most of my HP back from there. And I thought, okay, well, he's still asleep and he's not going to kill me now if I get a Dream Eater off. So I get it off and he didn't swap. That's another one down, so I'm back to 4 HP. So I thought, at least if he wakes up this turn, I've got the Focus Sash, so he's not going to take me. But Ho-Oh is still asleep, and probably not a thing you're going to see often when Butterfree really gives it to a Ho-Oh. So I'm able to third hit that guy with a Dream Eater and take out the Ho-Oh. So that thing's out of the way, it's not coming back in, and I achieved to put it to sleep. So we're getting there. Zekrom comes back in here, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to Bug Buzz this thing. If I can get rid of it, I get rid of it. If I do a heap of damage, you know, no matter what happens, I am not dying this turn. So I thought, okay, we'll get the Bug Buzz off. I hit him hard, but it is a Zekrom, so he just lives that on red health and goes for the Volt Switch again. So I'm like, okay, well, under half again, but I can take that thing out anyway. I put him to sleep, so that wasn't a problem. Then the shiny, yep guys, it's a shiny Decidueye comes out. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't hit this with it. It's a normal, for anyone you don't know, grass types can't get hit by sleep powder. So I'm like, you know, I just can't do anything. So I thought, oh, well, I'll stay in here, see what he goes. He goes for the Brave Bird, so I'm like, oh, well, I'm down, which is fine. But at least he's going to get a bit of recoil damage, so I can try and get this thing out of the way. So I thought, well, what should I bring in here? So I thought, I'll bring in Moon Raider here. I can confuse him, get some poison up, and go from there, and then I can hit him with super effective moves. So he goes for the Brave Bird, and I'm like, good, just, you know, it's not stab, so it won't do as much, but it's going to do a bit of damage, but you're going to take recoil, so I'm happy with that. And, you know, and then I thought, oh, well, I went for the Confusion Ray the first turn, because then I thought, at least I can try and avoid some hits with him hitting himself in Confusion. We just got to go from there. So the Decidueye, as I said, is confused, and I'm getting a little bit of recovery from my lefties there. So Moon Raider's not looking in a too bad position, so I thought at least this turn I can get the Toxic off. Even if he attacks me, I'm going to be surprised if he takes me out. And he gets through, and then he pulls out the Z move. I'm like, oh no. And then I saw the Ghost movements. I'm like, okay, not so afraid. It's probably the signature Z move, which, ready guys? It is. So anyway, he's going to use Sinister Arrow Raid, which I'm like, okay, well that ain't taking me out. Pretty cool Z move, but as I said, fine. So in he comes, and Moon Raid is going to take a bit of damage, but as I said, easily we're going to leave that one from the HP we were at. And I go for the Toxic, and I miss. And I'm like, God damn it, that is the worst and most annoying thing when Toxic misses. I mean, like, it's the best thing about having Poison Pokemon, because if a Poison Pokemon uses Toxic, it hits 100% of the time, even if they're flying. But yeah, so this time he gets through and goes for the Leaf Blade, so that one is definitely taking Moon Raider out. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a bit worrying, because I am down to my last one, and I need to get through this thing to get back to that Lunatone. And I'm like, okay, so I bring in Headbuns, my last Pokemon, so I'm like, okay, well, my aim here, I got to get this poison. And then he hits himself in confusion. I'm like, yes, okay, that was awesome. So I get the Toxic up, and so I'm like, good, yay. Okay, we only have that Lunatone to get to now after I poison this. And if I can get rid of this thing, he'll probably think of bringing that Lunatone out. I mean, he could bring the Venomoth, which is a bit of a worry because it resists me and things, but I feel like the Lunatone will probably be the next option with Ice Beam and Psychic. Anyway, this turn he goes for the Brave Bird, as expected. I actually was surprised he was still confused. I didn't think that was going to happen. So it does just over half, but that's fine to me because I was expecting this. So I actually went for the Moonlight so I can get my HP back, or most of it. And that way I can avoid any problems, and if I need to, he can keep attacking me until he goes down, and I'll at least have a large or decent amount of HP to deal with next. And he's going down the next turn no matter what he attacks or not. So he actually decides to save this guy because he could possibly still be confused this turn, but I doubt it. And then brings in that Lunatone, and I'm like, yes, okay, come on, this is the last one. Can we do this? So I went for the Moonlight, as I said, expecting another Brave Bird, which was fine unless he critted me, I was living. And so I'm back to full HP. So I'm like, whatever this hits me with, I should be able to live being a Eviolite max HP mixed defense Pokemon. So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And he goes for the Psychic. So I'm like, okay, well, this is stabbed and super effective. Let's see how much this does. And it does just over half by a little bit. And I'm like, okay, can we do it? And we get the Toxic off. And that is the last one, Poison, guys. I achieved the challenge, which was a really interesting, different challenge. And that is all of them done. Thank you. So yeah, as I said, that was a really fun challenge. If you guys come up with anything like these are the type of challenges I want. Not like, do a team that does this, or do a team that does that. Like, let's try and move away from the teams. Like, you know, Poison or Toxic everyone. I got another one coming up, which is a bit of a team, but it is more of a challenge of what I can do during the match. Then I've got another one coming up, which is more towards this, but we're a bit different. And there's just, you know, something different and weird. It doesn't even have to be a full team. It could be, you know, put 4 Pokemon to sleep and kill them while they're asleep in a row, or you know, verse a team and have 3 Pokemon kill themselves by confusion at least. And just things like that. It'd be just really interesting. So really get your brains wrapping and think of some stuff, because I really want to do some more of these. Anyway, guys, if you did like this video, please do Toxic that like button, wear it down, give it some love. And yeah, as I said, chuck your comments below, but especially some suggestions. Anyway, guys, until the next video, I'll see ya.